everyone. So today I thought I would do a short video on the main positions that I use in my bar classes. So they are mainly ballet positions, but I think it's important to go through them once more and just make sure that we are doing things properly, that the position is correct, and that we are doing those exercises safely. So let's start with feet together. So I will start most of my classes with some plie and some releve because it's a great way to warm up the legs, the feet, to align the body, to be aware of the body and the body weight, and it's just a great way to start a class. However, there are a few things that you need to look out for. So when I say feet together, first I expect the clients to connect with the floor before they do anything else. So I want you to really feel the heels, the balls of the feet and the toes in the floor. And I'll also ask you to keep your feet together to start. Why? Because when I ask my clients to come into a releve, so it's tiptoes, I always ask to have the heels touching together. And the reason is that if I don't ask this, the clients are going to want to go as high as they can on their tiptoes, and they are going to come up. And this is going to happen. And this is not good for the arch of the foot. So your feet here, it's very wrong actually. It's bad for your feet. You might actually injure yourself if you do this consistently over and over and you're doing it wrong in this way. So I will always ask my clients to imagine there is a 50-pound note between their heels and that they don't want to lose that 50-pound note. So really squeezing the heels, touching together and squeezing them. So that is to prevent injuries, to do those releve safely. Okay, so we're starting here, feet together, and we're going to engage the inner thighs. So we're going to zip, zip, zip. We're going to squeeze the inner thighs together. At the same time, you're going to have to squeeze the glutes as well. This is going to realign your pelvis slightly. So when I say tailbone pointing to the floor, this is a neutral pelvis position. And this is the best position to start working in, because if you're arching, so if the tailbone is pointing this way, it's not very good for your lower back. If you are tucking in too much, there's not much you can do because you're stuck here. So it's the tailbone pointing to the floor that gives you a nice alignment of the spine and that allows you to lengthen the spine and stay nice and straight. So when we are doing our plie, so releve, we know to keep the heels together. Now, when you're coming into a plie here, try to keep your legs together nice and tight because we were already started with our feet together. Now, I always say, try to keep your shoulders above your hips, and that means tailbone pointing to the floor and not arching or bringing the back forward. Because if you're bringing your back forward, there's a little less weight on top of the legs. So those plie and those pulses are not as efficient. You're not working as much as if you're here. You might as well just shift the body weight from one leg to the other. Having your shoulders above the hips and the tailbone pointing to the floor allows you to really work those legs and do it safely and do it effectively. Okay? So this is for the parallel, and this is for the releve and the plie. Now, when I ask you to open in first position, you start feet together and you just open your legs to the side. Simple as that. And I always say, make sure that when you're bending your knees are above the second and third toe. So why is that? My turnout is actually not the best turnout. I have a turnout because I was classically trained, but there were many, many girls with a better turnout than I have. It's from the hips when you can rotate. My turnout is actually this, because when I'm bending my knees, I'm making sure that the knees are above the toes. This is as far as I can open. If I wanted to pretend that I have a bigger turnout, I'll open my feet really to the side, yes? And you see my knees, they're coming in. This isn't right because I can feel, and you can probably see it, my ankles are starting to roll in. And that is going to be a problem if I do this consistently over and over for my ankles and my knees, because you don't have the strength to just realign. So you need to bring your toes, second and third, right under the knees. So you can also realign the tailbone to the floor and lengthen the spine and work out and do your plie safely and effectively in your first position. When you're having your legs straight in first position, again, I would always expect you to zip through the inner thighs, zip through the belly button, squeeze the glutes and lengthen. Bar, and a lot of bar classes, but especially my bar classes, because I was classically trained, I'm trying to really make you aware of your body. Even when you're doing crazy moves, legs up, legs down, the body is important, your body weight is important where you are, and you're feeling everything. Most of your body is usually engaged at it's doing something, it's working. So it's important to always have that posture. Plus, it's just make you gain a centimeter or two, to be honest. Being long is important. It makes you also lighter when you're lifting your legs or when you're jumping. It's important to be aware of our abdominals, the length of the spine, the shoulders down, the chest proud, the sternum is lifted. So this is important. Now, another position that I will also ask you to come into is a second position. This is the same thing. Second position in ballet, that would be probably with the heels right underneath the hip bones. Now, we're having a big second position because I like you to feel the opening in the hips when you're coming in those plies. Same thing with the knees. Let me show you. This is my turnout. So when I'm bending my knees, in my second position, the knees are above the second toe. I'm readjusting to make sure of that and not lie to myself, because this is what could happen. And my tailbone is pointing to the floor, my shoulders are right above my hips, and I can safely and effectively work and bend my knees and work my legs, and the position is correct. Okay, so this is for the second position. Beautiful. Now, I work not as much in fourth position, however I do it with attitude. Fourth position, you would have that right foot or the left foot, depending on what side you're doing, just in front of you. It's not touching. Again, you want to make sure that when you're bending your knees, always, those knees are above the second toes. For the fourth position, however, we want to keep the box, shoulders and hips, square. We don't want, because we have one leg in front of the other, we don't want to move the hips. So this is important for you if you're working in fourth position, to keep the box square. Okay? Fifth position, so third and fifth, they're very much more balletic, and you will find them very rarely in bar classes. So let's talk about our arms. So arms are important too. You'll find that some bar instructors work with weights, a lot of weights. I don't personally. I like small weights or no weights. And I use a lot of ballet arms, a lot of ballet positions for the arms too. So I'm going to do everything with my first position ballet. So I'm going to zip, I'm going to squeeze, and I'm going to bring my arms in first position ballet. So first position ballet is a little bit like holding a beach ball, big beach ball. And the shoulders are pressed down in the sockets. My elbows are round. And if you wanted to really go into details, you've got that thumb towards the middle finger, and you're trying to lengthen the hand as well and keep the alignment, forearms and wrists in a nice round shape. Okay, this is not really important if your hands are like this or like this, because you're tensing up, because everything that's happening is quite, quite intense. Second position, to the side, elbows supported, hands on the inside. And then you've got your third and your fourth and your fifth. So third, one arm up, one to the side. And you've got it both sides. And you see I'm trying to really keep the round shape. When I'm lifting my arm up, I'm not engaging the shoulder. I'm always pressing, squeezing my shoulder blades together and squeezing here, pressing and also lifting the chest. So lifting the chest is not flaring the ribs because you see I'm losing my tailbone pointing to the floor. I'm pulling in, I'm lifting the chest. And then third and third. Fourth, the arm is in front. Okay, this is your fourth position. And your fifth position, arms up. So when you have both arms up, very tempting to do this. And I see that a lot, and it's fine. You're trying to be tall, and it's absolutely fine. But if you can, just so you're keeping your posture and keeping the spine long and keeping the engagement in your core and keeping the glutes squeezed, don't try to lengthen this way. Try to lengthen from the spine again. Tuck, squeeze, lengthen here. Come and frame your face with your arms, nice round shape, fingers if you think about it, shoulders down, and chest lifted. This is your fifth position, okay? Wonderful. So this is it for now, and I think we should do another video on legs and position, but for now, really the balletic position of parallel first, second, fourth, and the arms are important. This is all to do with posture, and that will set you up for safe and effective barre class. Thank you so much for following. Thank you for joining this workout. I hope you enjoyed it. You can access the full catalogue of barre and targeted fitness workouts, including over 100 hours of recorded live stream classes. Register and download the app today. You can find all the relevant links in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.